Okay, Christine Stout here, the Artful Tatter from artfultatting.com. I thought I would give you a short little demonstration today on how to get rid of the ends, how to work in your ends when you're doing tatting. It's been a challenge. A lot of people have a hard time with it because you just tie them off, or what happens if it comes unraveled or what. So I usually don't cut when I open a new, get a new project started. I don't cut it, but today I cut it so that you can see what I'm doing here and how to do it. This is not the tatting shuttle I normally use either. That was my grandmother's, and it's made of bone. It's beautiful, but I have a hard time with it because it wants to get caught on the ring on the way out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a small ring here of 3 picots, three picots separated by 3 double stitches. And then when we turn into the chain, that's when you will work the ends in. And now I didn't learn this anywhere. No one taught it to me. If anyone else is doing it, cool. But I am under the impression that I invented it. So nobody showed me how to do it. But I worked it out one day. So I'm going to close my ring and get all the ends out of the way here. I'm using number 10 crochet cotton for this demonstration. It's just easier to see and work with, although I really do like working with the smaller stuff. But anyway, this is what I'm doing here. And the first thing you want to do, I should have left those ends a little bit longer, but I'm not going to make that long of a chain. But get them the same length and get them wet like you would if you were going to thread a needle. And then kind of put them down here out of the way. All you really need to do is take your first part of the stitch, flip the line way out, so leave a loop, and then you're going to thread the ends through so that they're the same as the shuttle thread, and then pull it down closed. A little tighter than you normally would too, because you've got extra bulk in there. And I thought I'd just do 3 picot 3 so you could kind of see how I do it. On the second half, you thread it up from underneath. But all it's really doing is it's pretending like all 3 of these strands are just the shuttle thread. So if you're confused on how to do it, just use the shuttle thread. Just follow the shuttle thread. You make your loop out far enough and make it big enough, you can get that through pretty easily. Granted, it takes some time. If you're pretty fast at tatting, this slows you way down. And it is best to do it for the most of the entire chain that you're working on. So if you've got this long chain, like 10 picot 10 or something, it's really going to be tedious to do it. But the finished product it's just really worth it. So there's my 3rd stitch. Here, I'll do the second half. And then you make a picot in it just like you would normally. Again, you're just kind of pretending that all these threads are just the shuttle thread. They do get dried out, and they work better if they're the same length and if they're wet. So they'll hold together better. I tried putting them in a needle, but with number 30 or number 70, it works pretty good. But with number 10, to get a big enough needle with an eye in it, you had to have such a long needle that it just didn't really work very well. So I left my space for my picot, do the second half, and then thread those through. And then when you slide them together, you just pretend like that's all one thread. If you get a bulk in there, just pull the ends. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more stitches, and then I'll show you how I kind of hide the end. And all you really have to do here, let's see, there's the first half. See, this is easier if the ends are a little longer too. I should have planned that better. But this is just a little demonstration. A lot of people that I've taught, they want to know how I do this. So I'm like, well, this is how I do this. So. Okay, I'm going to do the first half of my 6th stitch here, and my ring or my chain is only going to be 6 stitches. So I do the first half, And then before I do the second half, I'm going to cut the ends off. but I'm going to leave just a touch out there, probably a millimeter. If you're British, and 1/16 of an inch if you're English, right? Do the second half, and then just kind of work that around so that it covers that little end up. And you can't even see it. Now I'm a reverse fork and do the next ring, and presto, you continue on as if you never had to tie on at all. I always used to hate tying on. It made knots in the work that I didn't like, and even with fray check, which I always put on every knot, it still wanted to unravel, and I didn't like that. So this one it doesn't have a hook on the end, and it's a little harder also, but boy, this is the smoothest tatting shuttle that you'll ever use. It's made of bone, like I say, and it's just really a beautiful instrument. I don't use it as much though, because it doesn't have a shuttle inside, and winding it is kind of tedious, and I do so much tatting that I just don't take the time for it. But I have projects on my other tatting shuttles, and I thought, well, I'll just use this one for the demonstration. It's kind of fun anyway. Okay, and then when I do my last 3 stitches here, and close the ring, and I can continue on with my pattern as if I never had to tie on at all. So that's how you do the dreaded tie-on, right? Or the DTO, as I like to call it.